I don't want to assume. Are you strictly into guys?
No.
Into women as well?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when did that happen? When did you find out, figure out, discover you were open to both sexes?
Hey, Mom. When I was in high school.
Certain grade?
The ninth grade.
The ninth grade.
Yeah.
Now, are there other family members that you have that are gay?
No, the only one.
Only one?
Yes.
And when it came to coming out to your parents, when did that happen for you?
Well.
Or when did they figure out?
I'm not even going to make this awkward because I'm sure somebody out there watching that can probably benefit from this. So, okay. My mom, I know how my mom, of course, that's my mom. Like, I know how she is. I knew regardless of whatever I tell my mom, she's going to be like, well, just know, I just love you so much. Like, she just loves me so much. So I knew we were going to be good, but I still felt very iffy with telling her because I was in ninth grade and I'm, like, younger than my grade, so I was probably, like, 13. So I was just like, like, that's just an uncomfortable conversation to, like, bring up. But the hints were all on my social media. And my mom is, like, very, very observant. She's very, very observant. Like, she sees everything. So she just called me one day and was like, what's going on? And I was just started crying. I'm like, I don't know. I just did all that. But it was kind of tough at first only because the first, like, person that I ever, like, the first girl was, like, she was, like, super old. So, like, my sister, they were just, like, that's not, it just didn't sit well with them that she was, like, so old and I was so young and she was the first girl. They felt like it was, like, kind of like a taking advantage type thing. Like, I was, like, freshman in high school and everybody, like, wanted a little piece. And she just snatched me up, girl. It was just, like, they just didn't really like it. It was just very iffy, like, very, very iffy. But after that, now, like, we're all good.
So your parents already had an inclination. This didn't catch them by surprise.
Well, I would say it probably caught my mom by surprise.
Oh, okay.
Because my mom knew as soon as it happened, my mom knew. My dad, it was just kind of like he didn't know until like my senior year of high school. So it was kind of like, my dad was a school teacher, and I was very, 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 very popular in the whole area. So like, he would hear guys talking about me and asking about me all the time. Like, guys would come, because he taught high school, so guys would come up to him and ask him about me all the time, but I never brought any guys home. Always girls. And a lot of my friends are, like, studs and, like, girly girls, so, like, I just always brought home girls, unless I was having, like, a party, then boys would come, of course, but, like, it was just always girls. Like, sleepovers, it was just girls. So my dad actually thought I was, like, super, super gay. So for him, it didn't come as a surprise. He thought I was, like, gayer than I even was. Like, he thought I liked, like my best friends. He thought I was messing with my best friends. I'm like, no, Dad, no, not my type.
What's the longest, and I know you're still young, but how long did that relationship last for you?
I had two-year relationships.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Both females?
Mm-hmm. I have never had a boyfriend.
Never had a boyfriend?
But...
Open to a guy?
Sure. I just know they just get on my nerves. They're just so, like, stupid. They just don't understand anything. Like, if you go to a guy and be like if you could be having the worst day ever. And I'm like a very spiritual person, so sometimes I just need somebody to, like, be there to, like, pour into me and, like, have deep talks with, and we can just have, like, a beautiful conversation. I'm not talking about, like, aliens or, like, we don't have to talk about abortion and misogyny all the time, but Jesus, like, if I tell you that I'm having a bad day, I don't want to hear damn. Like, with a girl, like, even if I was to tell her, but, like, it's like you're dating your best friend, like, but it is not your best friend, because I like studs, so I like them to look like guys. So it's like you look like a boy, but you act like a girl. It's like, oh my God.
So you like the masculine feel?
Not like all your hair cut off and stuff like that. I kind of have a type. I kind of look like, I like really pretty girls. But, like, still, you look like a boy. Like, you dress like a boy. Like, big arms, like basketball players.
I see. Now, do you get hit on by a lot of women?
No. Thank God. No.
So you get hit on by more guys than girls?
Definitely, yeah.
But you're attracted to more girls?
No, see, the thing about it is I'm very, very picky with my taste. Like, with guys, like, I can see, like say it would be, like, a lineup of guys. And I'd be like, oh, he's cute. I can make something work with a lot of them. If it's a lineup of girls, like, it's like, like, I probably would choose, like, 0 out of 10, maybe 1 out of 10. Like, I'm very particular. Like, it just has to. The only reason why it's even been this way is because it just happened to work. Like, I just met somebody and it was like, oh, this works very well. It wasn't like I'm going out of my way or I was ever like, oh, like I only like girls, like I'm gay or whatever. It just, they always came and it just was a thing.
Now, you kind of described the look that you're into, but what about as far as characteristics? What do you look for? Or what do you like?
Both girls.
Girls, yeah.
Okay. You need to be compassionate. You need to be understanding. You need to be open. You need to be very, very understanding because, like, I'm like, you have to be a creative or you have to be, like, artsy or you're not going to understand me at all. Like, creatives are a very different breed of people. So, like, if I wake up one morning and I just don't want to say a word to you, then you don't need to say a word to me, you know, and you don't need to trip about it. If you're creative, you'll understand. If you're not, then it'll be, like, a big thing. I don't have time for that. So, we just need to be alike. You just need to be like me, but just, like, sneakers, wear boy stuff. But you need to act like me.
What about as far as, you mentioned, like, the basketball. So you mentioned, like, an athletic type of feel.
Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm.
What about as far as skin color, skin complexion?
Okay, well, I like you to be my color. I like a twin. I just want a little twin. No, really, like, I am pretty picky. I like, literally, the crazy thing about it is, like, it's funny that we're just talking about girls, because just 2 months ago, I was so over girls. Like, I was just all on boys. Like, I was so over that phase because, like, it had been, like, a year since I had messed with any girls. I was like, I'm not even doing that no more. You know, it's all boys. And this girl came along, and she was like, hey, she's perfect. She's, like, so tall, and her skin complexion is, like, it's beautiful. And I just love her.
I was going to ask you about
height as well. She's a basketball player.
You like them taller than you?
She's, like, 6'1".
And I've also heard the same thing from other females I've done interviews with that are into the same sexes. You know, that first girlfriend experience could be the last girlfriend experience for somebody. They might be into a female sexually, but not in a girlfriend type.
Yeah, a lot of girls go through that, like, you know, like, look, a little phase type thing. You know, it's very, very, very common for girls to just, you know, try it out. Like, and then studs, like, they just be so cute. Not saying girls are really pretty as well, but I know some girls just have, like, that, ooh, like, I just want to try it out type thing. But for me, it was, like, I did it for, like, 4 years, and then I was like, okay, let me just try boys. Like, let me just try this out, you know? So I was doing boys, and so I was not doing boys, literally. Like, I was messing, talking to guys, and then literally she just came like 2-3 months ago. So this is like, it's like, oh, here we go again, back to this lifestyle.
Do you intimidate women?
Can we talk about both? Because it's not just women.
Okay.
It's not just women. It's
okay,
definitely
do you
both.
intimidate men, women?
I definitely intimidate men, and I feel like that's why it was never a thing, because they were always like, it's just a lot. I'm a lot. Not in a way like I'm crazy. I'm definitely not crazy. I'm very, very calm, and very nonchalant, and I'm very distant and disconnected, and that's how I'm a lot, because they can't handle that. They're not used to that. Like, I act like them, but like a worse version of them, because they'll start becoming like the clingy ones and want to see me all the time, and I'll just be like, yeah, man, like, I'm not really trying to come over, you know, like, if you want to see me, like, that's cool. I guess you can bring me some food, and then, like, leave a little while after. And that's normally how they treat girls. So I like to get, like, revenge, and that was, like, my thing.
As far as guys, what's the what characteristics do you look for?
You need to be, like, you just need to not be like a normal guy. You need to know who you are. You need to know you need to not be like homophobic or sexist or even like side with sexism. Like, you need to be like, I'm picturing like a Vic Mensa mindset.
Okay.
But just a little more like a little more, like I would like an athlete, definitely, like a male athlete, but like just like I'm not gonna use the word woke because that term is used so loosely, but just you just know what's going on, very conscious, but not like I'm not saying you need to like be just know everything, like it's not. I'm not begging for you to just be able to like lecture me all the time. That's not what I don't need that, but I just do need you to understand that some things are very serious. Like if we see something, I don't need you to just brush it off, like something on the news or like we're talking about Trump. I don't need you to just not know what's going on. Like he can't be oblivious to what's going on. He needs to be athletic, very well built, just very, very, very chill, but still be able to like handle me and like be like, girl, like you like me and it's okay. Because if you don't like say that to me, I'm gonna be like, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like my complexion. I'm sorry.
Now, what about romance, the romantic department? Most romantic things someone has done for you or you have done for someone else. I know you're still young, but...
I'm just, okay. Most romantic thing anybody has ever done with me? Oh, I hope this person doesn't watch this because I don't want them to think that I'm thinking about them. Okay, so like, okay, no, that's not romantic. I don't know, like, romantic, like, the normal, like, the flowers on the floor and stuff, that stuff doesn't really impress me, like, it's just like, okay, no, like, you saw that on Twitter and you decided to go do it, like, cool. I would like somebody to just go over and beyond, like, if you buy me, like, this sounds bad, but not just materialistic, but I'm saying just thoughtful. Like, so I really love shoes, so if you go out of your way to get me shoes, then I would love it. Like, the other day, I really love chocolate-covered strawberries, so, like, the other day I got a knock on my door, and it was chocolate-covered strawberries. It was, like, a huge surprise, very random, and the same day, like, she really, like, poured into my spirit. Like, I had a lot going on, and she really poured into me, and I just felt like that was, like, that's my type of romance. Like, when you make my life better, when you make me better, that's like, oh, my God, like, I love that so much. Like, you putting roses on the floor and stuff, like, okay, I'm gonna forget about that in 2 days, probably by tomorrow, honestly. I like stuff deeper than that.
Are you into the lovey-dovey stuff?
Lovey-dovey, like what?
Like PDA, public affection. Holding hands.
I was not.
Cuddling up.
I was not, but now, like, with, like, the person that I'm dealing with now, it's like, yeah, it's, like, really bad. But when I was messing with, like, boys and stuff, like, I was like, ew, please do not touch me. Like, I used to be snapping on them, like, don't touch me. Like, they tried to grab my hand at the mall. I would, like, be like, bro, like, what are you doing? You're doing too much. I'm not holding your hand.
Now, what about, in terms of men or women, do you prefer industry men or women or non-industry?
Non.
Why? People have different reasons for each. Just curious on why you like or prefer a non-industry men or women.
Honestly, I just feel like if I was to deal with like a rapper or like somebody, since that is the industry that I am pursuing, I feel like people would put a label on the dominant in the relationship and like just the like she messed with this person, like, oh, this is so-and-so's girlfriend or so-and-so, like, she's messing with so-and-so, and I would just be like, it'll be him, and then it'll be like me under there, like, and I would never want that to happen. I would never want anybody to always associate me with a man or just feel like I'm where I am in the music industry because of dealing with that man. So I just rather just keep away from dealing with anybody over there, period. Like, I'd rather just deal with a guy who is in a whole separate industry so they know, like, I did this all by myself. It has nothing to do with any rapper or manager or producer or engineer, none of that. So I just want to stay away forever, honestly.
Who wears the pants when you're in a relationship with somebody?
I wear the pants. I have the one right now. I always wear the pants.
So you're the more bossy, controlling, dominant.
Wow. Bossy, controlling, yes. Yeah, that's me. No, I'm not. Okay, yeah, I'm very bossy, but like, it's like nice. I'm very, very nice.
Now, have you had, because you've experienced girlfriends, have you had girlfriend trouble with the music career? I know you did dancing before, the dancing career back in the past.
No, they love it.
Nobody made you pause, stop, or made you quit any of those careers?
Hell no. I wear the pants. So that was never a thing. It was whatever Braxton was to do, Braxton is gonna do. They loved it. It's like, oh my God, like a little superstar, like a little They love it so much.
Hardest part about being in a relationship and the entertainment industry?
Like just thinking about the future, because as of right now, like I'm just starting out, so it's not really like super hectic right now. Like she's actually very busy. She's like plays overseas or whatever, so she be doing her own thing. But it's just like when I think about, so I just try not to think about like long term. Like when it's just everything is just all in my face, just like very accessible, just staying strong through like maybe any temptations on either sides, or you just never know, you really just never know what the future holds. So that's the only difficulty, just that in any relationship, really just thinking about like, oh, like what if in 3 years this person who I always thought was so cute just pops up right in front of my face, like it's just those type of things. But I just don't think about that stuff anymore.
Do you include your significant other in what you do as far as your work? Do you, whether it's behind the scenes or do you like them? Like, okay, if you're performing somewhere, would you be okay with them coming to a performance, or do you kind of like want stuff to be separate?
Oh, no. I don't want you to be there. Like, I really love support. So that's another thing. That's another characteristic. Like, I want you to be very supportive, because I just feel like, any relationship I'm in, any relationship period, I just need to feel support, because I'm a very supportive person. So like if you have a basketball game or whatever you have, I'm gonna want to be front row unless I have something to do. So I need it to be reciprocated.
Have you experienced quote unquote real love before?
No, not on my part. I thought I did, but I realized that it was like lust. And then afterwards, when they were just loving me so much, it was more so like I turned them into like a sister or like a brother. So they would like cry and stuff, and I would just be like, we can be friends. Like, I love you so much, but I don't want to like kiss you or hug you anymore, because I feel like you're like my sister now, my brother. So it was like got really bad. So no, I've never experienced real love.
What's the difference? Because you mentioned lust. Let's say somebody's watching this and they're having a hard time deciphering. How can one determine this is lust, no, this is love? Okay.
Well, honestly, since I've never been in love, it's going to be a little difficult for me to talk in depth on that, or, on the verses, on the comparison. Okay. But I can say I do know my lust is like, oh my God, like they're like, like, it sounds bad, but it's literally, this is exactly how it happens. Like, the idea of that person, it fits the perfect idea of exactly what you want, and they're just like right there. So you're like, I would be so stupid to not love this person. So I have to love this person. Like, you love them so much because they're so cute and they're so tall and they look so good and they're so nice to you and they do everything for you and they answer every question right and they treat every situation right. So you're like, oh my God, like you taking me everywhere and you buy me food all the time and you come over when I want you to come over and you don't hesitate, and it's just like, oh my God, like I just love you so much. But then when it gets like real down to it, like when time goes on, if time prolongs like months and you still like, oh my God, I love him so much, that's not lust anymore. Lust is like, and then you see something else and you're like, oh, I want to go over here. That's what lust is, and that's what I used to do all the time. I used to just be like, after like 2-3 months, I would be over it.
What's the best relationship advice you could share with us today, just from stuff you've experienced? Any advice there? Anything general you can give somebody watching this? My
general advice would be to just don't like lose yourself in any relationship that you're in. Just make sure you stay focused on what you have going on always, and always put yourself first, because you can love somebody to death and you can love them so deep, but you should never ever love anybody more than you love yourself. So if you ever find yourself putting anybody before you unconsciously, even still, like, and you try to throw, even if you try to throw it in their face, like, you're wrong for that. You shouldn't be putting anybody before you. You should never do that. You should always put yourself first. Until you have children, then you can put your children before you, but that's not your child. So you should not be putting him before you. That's for his mother to do, or anybody else in his life.